Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Kiwi Steve's Global Kitchen, and this is episode number 563. My, how the time has flown. So today I'm going to be cooking a wonderful dish called prawn curry, and I'd like to acknowledge that it's not my dish at all. This recipe, I have to acknowledge, comes from one of my work colleagues, Praveen Kumar, and she's from Fiji, and wow, they must make some great curries in Fiji because this is just divine. So basically it comes with, we have a kilo of prawns, but I've already shelled those, the tails off, and set aside. So firstly we're going to put in, I'll just turn this up a little bit more. We're going to put in first a teaspoon of cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, and then half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, and we have some, about 10 to 15 again, of curry leaves. So I'm going to put those in now, and we'll do those first. But I want to tell you about prawn curry because my first experience, well, in the mid-90s I went to India an awful lot, and I used to visit a lovely family, and I'm looking forward to hoping to get back there sometime soon. And this family, Stanley's wife, Ratna, she made the most divine prawn curry. And I remember when I used to go there, and one of the daughters would come and she'd say to me, "Uncle," I'd be sitting there, "what would you like for dinner?" Well, the first thing I would say is it possible, Joy, that I could have prawn curry? And anyway, it came around to dinner time, and I'm sitting at the table, and what comes out? Prawn curry. And I was so happy. So the mustard seeds is just starting to crack a little bit now. So what I'm going to do is, we'll come back to the prawn curry. I want to put the onions in, and then the ginger and the garlic. But don't put the ginger and garlic in first, because if the oil's a little bit hot, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to have a shower of oil, and it's happened before. So we're going to put the onions in. And I also want to talk about part 2 of safety. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So we're putting, the onions have gone on. So I'd be sitting there in this beautiful prawn curries in front of me, and then also comes out a plate full of puri. They're like kind of chapatis, but they blow up, and they're deep fried, and they're just absolutely amazing. So I'm eating one puri and with my rice and my curry, my prawn curry. And I've eaten that, and then there's another one on my plate, and I eat that. I look, and there's another one on my plate, and so this goes on. And by the time I finish and I'm full, I've eaten at least 10 puri, my prawn curry, and I'm feeling rather full. And I used to come back after 3 weeks or a month from India, and I'd be horrified because I would get on the scales, and my gosh, I've put on 4 kilos. 4 kilos in 4 weeks, and that's quite a lot, and you have to work very hard to get that off. And now today I have to work extremely hard to get weight off because the metabolism has started to slow down, sadly. Right, so I've got the onions going here. I'm going to put the ginger and the garlic in now, and I think what I'm going to do also, because here's a little secret that Praveen taught me. I'm going to put the salt in now with the onions. Usually I put it in later before I put the main ingredients in, you know, like the prawns. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and a bit more. So we'll put that in. I could never make prawn curry, and I think, oh, I wish I could make it, and I'm so grateful to Praveen for giving me this wonderful recipe. So we've got the onions going there. So we'll let that cook for a little bit till the onions start going, till they start going brown. And I'm using brown onions today, so 2 to 3 brown onions. And what brown onions do, that Praveen was actually telling me, is that if you use red onions, it can make the dish a little bit darker. So she's right, actually, I've noticed that. But I do like red onions, I have to admit. It depends on where you are, in India, what type of, or Fiji, or New Zealand, and whoever is cooking, whether they use red onions or brown ones. So, safety. I want to talk about safety. Now you remember in the last episode I told you, oh, Murray's down there by the way, the passive viewer. I wanted to talk about that safety, the second part B, because you know how last time I lost my passport, well, it got stolen, lost my visa, because that was in the passport, lost my traveller's checks, we don't have traveller's checks now, so that's good, lost my airline ticket, we don't need airline tickets anymore, we can do it all online, and so I basically lost just about everything. So by the time my friend and I, Craig, arrived in the town in under Pradesh that we were going to meet the David family, we explained to them what had happened, and we had to get another train. So we had to get a train up to Delhi, because that's where I could get all those things reimbursed to me. Now my onions are starting to go brown, so I'm going to put coriander powder. Going to put that in, so 2 teaspoons, and remember that I will have this recipe, you'll find it in the comments section somewhere. So you can follow that. 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric. I'll put the turmeric in now. And now we have my favourite, chili. So I've got a rather hot chili here. So I've got 1 teaspoon of that. So, and I have half a teaspoon here of Kashmiri chili powder. My favourite chili powder, actually, because it's got a lot of flavour, but it's not as spicy, not as hot as the red chili. So we're going to put that in. And the Kashmiri chili powder will help also give it a nice little red colour. There we go. So let's let that cook for a minute. Coming on well. So anyway, we told this family, and they went and booked tickets for us for Craig and I to go to Delhi. So here's the unusual thing. What happened was, we were sitting in a railway station. It was midnight, because we'd got one train further south to get a connecting train to Delhi. And we're sitting at the platform. It was midnight. It was humid. And there was this most bizarre thing going on. There was TV screens up there, and I was looking at the TV screen, and I thought, this is unusual. We're seeing yacht racing in this beautiful big lake in America. And I thought, gosh, what a contrast to the situation I'm in right here in the middle of India, or southern India. But here's really gets weird. There was this guy, and he was walking up and down the platform, and very disturbed, and he was declaring to all and sundry, including us, death to America, death to America. So he's walking up and down the platform, and Craig and I looked at each other, and we came to the conclusion that we didn't look like Indians. So in the best interests of everybody, we decided that we should go and sit in the lounge, in the first class lounge, which is what we did. So eventually the train came, and we got to Delhi, and I managed to retrieve everything I needed to. So I'm not going to tell you all the experiences I had doing that. So I'm going to put in now the tomato paste, and it's about 130 grams, 130, 150, it doesn't matter. So we're going to put the tomato paste in, and this gives it some more red colour, but also enhances the flavour. So I'm just going to mix that all up now. Now be careful not to burn this. So now what I wanted to tell you was regarding safety and retrieving all my possessions. We had retrieved them all and we decided, well, we need to get back to Andhra Pradesh, to the place where we were going, and to see the David family. So we went down towards the railway station and there were some sales agents, and we asked them, well, you know, we'd like to get tickets back to where we were going. And of course, they said, oh, that would be very difficult. You need to book weeks in advance. But wait, there's more. We can get you tickets for X amount of rupees. But it was an awful lot. And so we decided, no, we're not going to fall for that one. So we went to the station and our train was leaving at about 6 o'clock, I saw. The time was about 4:30 and there was a huge crowd. Every ticket box had just rows and rows of people. I thought, we're never going to make this train, Craig. Anyway, so it was time to pray. So we walked along praying earnestly. Oh, we need a ticket box. We need a ticket box. And then we came across the most unusual thing. Oh, India's like that. There's so many amazing things and unusual things that can happen. And so we came to this ticket box, right? I'm going to put, before I forget, we need some prawns. So we'll put the prawns, we'll put the prawns in. I'll just give that a mix. So we come to this ticket box and there was a man in there. But no, there was no line. I thought, this is unusual. And then I looked above the ticket box and this is what it said. It said the lame, the blind, lepers, journalists and freedom fighters. So I looked at Craig and Craig looked at me and he said, well, I am the blind. And Craig said, well, I'm blind. And I said, well, I'm a freedom fighter. So we went to the box and we explained our situation and we said to the good man, we said, look, we're kind of blind because we don't know how to get back to where we have to go and we need to get back there urgently. And he looked on the computer and he said, one moment. I looked on the computer and lo and behold, he gave us our tickets at the right price as well. So we got back to Rajamundry. So it's really important, you know, to not separate those important things from you like I did. And even don't have them on your back. I'll tell you about that in a minute too. So we got our train back to where we were going, which was really good. But I remember I was going to, another time I was going to Uti. It's in South India. It's near, north of Coimbatore, kind of northwest of Coimbatore, and which is an industrial city in South India, is Uti, and it's a hill station, and it's absolutely amazing. And there's a toy train, and it takes 5 hours to get up to Uti, which is all these tree plantations. But the highlight for me was just about every shop had their own branded chocolate they made, and gosh, no wonder I got so fat, going from shop to shop, sampling all the chocolates. So they made homemade chocolates, and it was an amazing tea plantation. You go on a great tour, and on this toy train going up, it's just an incredible experience, and I really recommend it. So anyway, I was talking to the conductor on the train, and he said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Uti. And he said, be careful of your possessions. I said, oh, why? And he said, well, these two Swiss ladies, they'd gone into a restaurant, cafe place. So I've been cooking this now for about 5 minutes, and now I'm going to put the coconut milk in. So half a tin of coconut milk. We'll put that in. Oh, this is such a great recipe, I tell you. I just would never get sick of this one. It's looking really good. So one of the ladies, he said, she put her bag down beside her on the chair while they were talking, and then she decided, well, we need to go and pay and order what we want, go and pay what we want. And she went to get her bag and it was gone. And everything, her passport, her airline ticket, the visa, of course, money. It's interesting. Sounds like me. So anyway, I feel sorry for the poor lady because I know what she would have had to have gone through. And there's nothing worse than losing all those things. And then there's the mission to try and get them back, all the way back to Delhi, a 2-day trip. Well, from South India anyway. And so, even in Thailand, once I was in Thailand with a friend and she had a backpack, but she put her phone in the backpack. And then we arrived where we were going and she went to get her phone out of the backpack, on her back. It was gone. They'd unzipped it, took the phone out, so a lesson to be learnt. Always carry everything maybe in front of you or so you can see it, but not behind, and not beside you, and not behind you on the back of the train like me. Anyway, they caught those people, so which was really good, the ones that stole. That was an organised ring. So, the prawns. How long do we cook the prawns for? Well, about 15 minutes. So, I had them cooking for about 5 minutes first while I was talking to you, and then I put the coconut milk in, but you can put the coconut milk in at the same time if you like. And then you can garnish this. You can garnish this when you finish with coriander leaves and serve on a bed of brown rice, white rice, and I'm probably going to have poppadoms with this. Poppadoms are very nice and very tasty and quite light. Yeah, so that's it for today, and thank you for joining me, and so we will see you again next time. So I wish you a very good week, take care, and look forward to seeing you at the next episode. What we're going to cook, I'm not too sure. We shall see. So take care.